Okay, so picture this, alright? You're 80 something years old, you and your wife, your husband, whatever, are going on your vacation, you're looking at some places online. Alright, let's hop on Google reviews and let's search up some places. You come across something called Tahiti. It's an island, right? Easy enough so far. Imagine you go on the reviews and you hear a bunch about mangoes, plans, money, and guys named Dutch, Arthur, and John Marston. Now, to anyone who's played Red Dead Redemption 2, or even the first one, you would know pretty much every single one of these names, and you would get the jokes that are coming with it. But to people who have never played these games before, and especially the older generation, you're gonna be very confused of why all of these are on there. But I found out if you go to Google Maps and you go to the island of Tahiti and you look at the reviews, there's some absolute gold pieces on there. And yeah, we're gonna be checking out some of these reviews and seeing how good Tahiti really is. Alright, so the first one we have here comes from someone named Meow, and they said, "It's a great place. I came here to start my mango farming business. When on my way there, I saw these strange men in the ocean, and one of them was dead. There were like about 15 more of them as I went on closer to the island, and it's provided with these images of the whole Vanderlyn gang in the water, and ironically enough, John Marston has a floaty on because he can't swim. And then we got good old Arthur over there offering some jello beans, and I think that's Micah in the background that's drowning. Can't be sure, can't really see it that well. We're also given this lovely image here of the Vanderlyn gang on their vacation themselves. I don't know who's in the back on that little like canopy or whatever it's called, but yeah, I mean, they look like they're having a great time. So I mean, so far Tahiti looks like a great place. We got some nice old fellers here, you know, just having a great time on vacation. But let's see what the next review says. The next one we got is from Knack, and it's 2 stars, and it says, "I love the weather and the beaches were nice, but my problem started when these random cowboy looking fellers showed up. The guy in the red vest started screaming at some of the others, talking about his plan worked out and how they'll be growing mangoes. Not long after their arrival, another boat pulled up. They all start shooting at each other on the beach, and I had to leave. Nice job, security." Yo, come on, security. You gotta make sure there can't be gunfights happening out here. Like, imagine you're trying to plan like a little vacation for you and your little elderly wife, and all of a sudden, you know, you don't want these shootouts going on. You want little Martha running around screaming because there's bullets flying left and right. You gotta think of the elderly, man. They're scared. This isn't back in the day where, you know, we had these war veterans who were just not scared of anything at all. Nah, you gotta be careful. You gotta look out for your wife and stuff, man. Come on. And the best thing too is a lot of these reviews are mixed with actual genuine reviews. Like, we got Lauren B here. "Hot and humid here. Love the open airport and the beautiful welcoming music. I enjoy the chill coffee at the cafe and waiting for my flight home." So you see, they're mixed up all together and people are going to get confused, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. The next one we have here is a little bit cursed, and this one's from Lightning F. "Nice views, lovely hotels and beaches. Only bad thing was this geezer complaining about Terminal Lumbago and his friends complaining about Faith. Such a bad way to end the holiday. Avoid these geezers at all costs." And it's provided with a very cursed image of both Dutch and some Roblox characters. Not to mention as well, he visited in September of 2001, so I think that was the least of the world's worries right now during that time frame, but hey, you know, you can't mess with someone's vacation, right? The next one is from Peugeot Abu, and it says, "Don't go to Tahiti, 1 out of 5 stars, would not recommend. Micah brought the Pinkertons, and now it's Guarma 2.0. We're just hiding on a tropical island, and the entire army is after us, and there aren't many mangoes." Come on, man, you gotta have mangoes on Tahiti. That's part of the plan. How are you gonna, you know, grow mangoes if there are none to even grow in the first place? You need the seeds, right? Or wait, maybe this is the plan after all. Because, you know, supply and demand. If there's no mangoes on Tahiti, that means they gotta import them, and that's more expensive. So if you start a mango business on Tahiti, yo, that's like instant free money. This was the plan all along. And the next one we have here is from a guy named Panda Quest, and he actually visited in April of 1899. I didn't know they had Google back then, but hey, there we go. He said, "It's a very nice place. The only bad things were some guys talking about Planet and an old guy called Uncle complaining about Lumbago, and there were a lot of outlaws, but a good place." You see, this guy's the opposite of the other guy. He's like, yo, there's some outlaws. It is what it is. Let it be. We're on vacation, right? Outlaws deserve vacation too. Yeah, you guys like, nah, we're scared. There's shootouts and stuff. Yo, Panda's a real one. Panda's not scared of nothing. But see, that's the funniest thing, because like, I'm imagining these reviews from someone who actually has no idea about Red Dead at all, and they're just searching up a great family destination for their friends, family, kids, loved ones, grandparents, their wives, retirement, whatever it may be, and they come across this, and all the thing is there's guns, there's outlaws, and a lot of mangoes. So just imagine it's like, nah, we're not going to Tahiti, you know, it's out of the book. Let's go to like Hawaii or something instead. And all I can imagine is like just the government of Tahiti, if there even is a government, they're sitting down, they're in a, like a little boardroom or whatever, and like, yo, we're losing a lot of money. There's not many tourists. What's going on? So, you know, they start firing people, thinking maybe the customer service isn't that great, or they start, you know, renovating and doing a bunch of stuff. But the whole time, the whole reason their whole like GDP or whatever is just crashing is because of some guys on, you know, Google reviews talking about, you know, mangoes and plans and stuff like that. And they're like, who is this guy named Dutch? Why are they giving out free mangoes? So it's in a whole like, you know, military search looking for a guy giving out free mangoes, when the whole time it's literally just a Red Dead Redemption meme. But yet none of them were cultured enough to really know that. And also, you know, Tahiti is now going in severe debt, and their dollar's worth absolutely nothing, all because of Red Dead Redemption. Oh, that was a wild voice crack right there. Don't mind that. And I love this very genuine review that really could pass as like, a normal review, and it's from this guy named Sevinch Sahin, if I pronounce that correctly. Nice place. Some guy named Dutch gave me free mangoes on my visit, and he also visited in June of 1899, so whoever's looking to go there and get some free mangoes from a guy named Dutch, I think you guys are a little too late. Only about 126 years or so, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe his great-great-grandson, he's taking down the family tradition and giving out free mangoes. Who knows? And I love this absolutely just, Chad meme for the next one. It's from this guy named McGray Zulu. This place is really good, and it's just a picture of Arkham Knight. He's just standing on business. He's saying this thing's good. You got a problem? You gotta fight him, bro. He's Arkham Knight. But yeah, so pretty much all the Google reviews is a mix of, just some rich people saying, oh, I loved the food. It was a great atmosphere, very lovely little island. And then the other ones are just like, me and my boy went here back in 1899 from a guy named Dutch, and we got a plan, and some guy named Micah showed up and brought a bunch of Pinkertons. So, as I said, people who don't know any of the memes, they're probably like, what the hell is going on? What is wrong with this place? Why are there, there gunfights? Why are there mangoes, right? So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Let it be, it's absolutely hilarious in my opinion. But yeah, if you guys want to check it out, just go on Google Maps, search up Tahiti, and just look at the reviews. They're all absolutely hilarious. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure if you guys did, hit the like button for a free mango and a plan. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Scotty. Take care and have a great day, alright?